We thought yesterday's was a nail-biting finish at T-Mobile Park. Today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays against the Seattle Mariners in the finale of this set was something else. Roller coaster ride after roller coaster ride to 3 consecutive innings where the Mariners have the bases loaded but do not score. And the Blue Jays win it 5-4 in 10 innings to win the series 2 out of the 3. And what a time for Blue Jay fans at T-Mobile Park. Obviously, lots of fans there today in the finale. It was an incredible weekend all around. We had an outstanding trip in Vancouver and Seattle. Obviously, we're at the airport hotel right now, staying the night, and heading back to Toronto tomorrow. So Tuesday's game will be in my normal location. And if you haven't done so already, guys, hit the subscribe button. Want to see how far we can grow this page more and more. The 12,000 goal is still in effect. We are on our way there. And let's talk about this game, because holy crap, there's a lot to break down. Let's start in the bottom half of the third inning, right? Actually, well, in the first inning, the Jays have the bases loaded against George Kirby. Him on the ropes, can't get it done. But in the bottom of the third inning, Jose Barrios, man, he fires a meatball to Victor Robles, who my buddy Rob figured this one out. His first home run since freaking 2022. And it was a moonshot of Jose Barrios, a solo shot, making it 1-0 in the bottom half of the third. Not great. We go to the top of the fourth inning, and Bo Bichette leads off with a double. Like, that in itself was mind-boggling. He gets moved over to the third base. And Alejandro Kirk, man, he had a series. Now, he got out on this play, but the sac fly that he was an absolute piss missile line drive to right field. It's caught. Bo tags up, comes home to score. We're tied at 1. And if you're a Jays fan, you're watching this, and you're like, okay, well, George Kirby, you know, he's on the mound, and you've tied the game, and you're right there. But then the bottom of the fifth, where all Blue Jay fans who are hardcore fans thought it was game over, was when it started with a Canzone single. And then Victor Robles, again, the number 9 hitter who hit a home run off of Barrios' last AB, drops down a bunt. And I love that Jose Barrios has won a Gold Glove, and he's a great defensive pitcher, and he's very, very good at fielding his position. But his choice to spin and fire to second base on that play was not a good one. I mean, yeah, it's the number 9 hitter. For God's sakes, their top of the lineup stinks. Their lineup stinks. Even taking J-Rod out, and he came into pinch hit today and literally got hit by a pitch. They're useless. Their offense is no good. Neither is ours. It was a rock fight of all rock fights. We talked about it yesterday. It was what it was going to be, and my God, what did it ever live up to that? So I didn't understand him trying to field the bunt and throw it to second. He tries to. I think it hit the runner, and it goes into center field. Both runners move up, and now you got second and third, and you're not in a good spot. Now, I believe he got J.P. Crawford to ground it to Horwitz. You're like, okay, now you got one out. But then Mitch Garver destroys one to left field. A 3-run shot. And the Jays trail 4-1. Now, I'm sitting there with friends Rob and Ann, and we're thinking to ourselves, George Kirby's still on the mound. They have Munoz available. Ryan Stanek's been very good for them this year. All guys are available. This is basically over now. Right? Well, the Jays players, more in particular George Springer, had other things to say about that. We go to the top half of the 7th inning, and they try and push George Kirby a little bit. But Alejandro Kirk, again, stays hot. Drills a line drive base hit to center field. Leo Jimenez, who got his first hit in the big leagues earlier on in the ball game, he gets another hit. His second hit of the day off of George Kirby. And you now have 2 on with nobody out. And Kevin Kiermaier come up to the plate. And my God, what a liability he's been. They bring in Ryan Stanek to face Kiermaier. He strikes out. And we're like, yep, seen this movie before. 2 on, 1 out now. Top of the lineup, George Springer. We'll see what happens. And boy, oh boy. George Springer gets a fastball, about 98 from Ryan Stanek, and he drills this thing to right center field. And did it have the wings? Oh, it did. A 3-run shot for George Springer, and he is fired up, rounding the bases. And T-Mobile Park, I wouldn't say regardless if you're a freaking Mariners fan, all the Jays fans at T-Mobile Park, including us three, were losing our mind. Because when was the last time a Blue Jays player got a big hit like that? It has been a long time. We had a moment at this point of the game. Outstanding stuff. We are tied at 4. The rock fight continues. Spencer Horwitz then gets a single. Vladdy then walks, and we're like, okay, we got a couple more guys on base here. They can maybe take the lead. Yeah, no, you don't. And as I mentioned, the rock fight continues. As in I think it's the bottom of the 7th inning. Barrios goes out there. They try to push him. He allows the first 2 guys to get on base. They bring in Nate Pearson. Now, he does a remarkable job of getting out of that inning unscathed. And then, the joke of all jokes, the Seattle Mariners team. I mean, they're first in the division, 6 games over 500, gives me a lot of AL Central vibes of last year. Because the team who won the division is not really that great. And people are going to say, well, the Twins beat you guys. You know why? We weren't great either. We were bad. We knew it. And the Mariners' offense is pathetic. But they had, get this, the bases loaded in the 8th, 9th, and the 10th inning. They scored nothing in any of those innings. That tells you a few things. One, the Mariners' offense is piss poor. Second of all, the Jays' bullpen, as we all know, is horrific. They hung on for dear life. I mean, that is as close to dear life as you could possibly get. And then, Rob's favorite player, Dalton freaking Varsho. He was the hero, obviously game 1 we lost the game, but had the highlight of the game in game 1, that catch against the wall. The doubling up, who was it, Rojas in game 2, that crazy catch he made there. And in the top of the 10th inning, with 2 out, mind you, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at second base. It's a soft line drive over the head of the second baseman for a base hit. Vladdy rounds third, head first slide. He's safe at the plate. Varsho's jacked up at second base. We're losing our minds yet again in the stands, and it's the top of the 10th inning. You got the lead now, 5-4. But as we all know, they have their chance in the bottom half. And obviously the ghost runner starts at second base. So we don't feel that confident because, again, the bullpen is trash. But they bring out Genesis Cabrera. And I'm sitting there continuing to try and manifest, bring me LA vibes of last year. Because if you don't remember LA, when we played the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium last year, it was Genesis Cabrera's debut at the Jays or in and around then. His first few outings as a Blue Jay, and he was awesome. Him and Jay Jackson were led the charge of that bullpen back then. And I'm like, just bring that back out, buddy. We love when you get fired up. You're that guy. We got you here. And so Polanco starts at second base, and he gets Mitch Haniger to strike out to start the inning. We're like, okay, let's get going here. And then Dylan Moore hits an infield single. Vladdy probably should have had it. Does not get it. And then there was a weird steal play. They steal second and third. And now this guy's at second and third with only 1 out. Again, tying run, 90 feet away. Not great. But J.P. Crawford, yet again, who had a horrific series, pops out to Vladdy. Now there's 2 away. You just need to get the 1 out. And they intentionally watch. No, he didn't intentionally walk Mitch Garver, but they walk Mitch Garver. Bases are now loaded. And big dumper, Cal Raleigh, the guy who has haunted the Blue Jays in more ways than one. Whether you're Alek Manoah in the regular season, whether you're Alek Manoah in the postseason, Cal Raleigh has dominated the Blue Jays so many different times. And he hits a deep fly ball to center field. But Kevin Kiermaier's there to make the play, and it was kind of a sigh of relief from KK. And Genesis is jacked up on the mound, and everybody, Jays fans related, in T-Mobile Park is losing their mind. What a moment for Jays fans. It's been a horrific season to this point, and to be at the ballpark at least, it was 10 times better. As I mentioned before, I told myself I wouldn't stress out going to a game where your team's 10 games under 500. Well, it happened. I was nervous the entire time. But they got the wins. 2 wins for the Blue Jays in Seattle, which was very exciting. Now they head down the I-5 to take on the San Francisco Giants starting on Tuesday night. It is Yusei Kikuchi, Blake Snell. Shout out to Rob's arm, who just popped into the screen. Yusei Kikuchi, Blake Snell in the opener. It's a 9:45 first pitch. That's lovely. Chris Bassett versus Logan Webb. That's going to be a tough one. And then the finale on Thursday afternoon is Kevin Gausman against former Blue Jay Jordan Hicks. So it's going to be a wild series in San Francisco. Their team, not all that great. They're hovering around the 500 mark. They're 3 games under. They've lost a couple in a row. They're kind of mid 5-5 last 10. It's going to be tough. But for the Blue Jays, can you build anything? And I'm not saying it's going to lead to anything, but can you build anything off of this crazy series against Seattle? We'll see. All right, let's get to these player stats quickly before we wrap this thing up. All right, there's a lot to get to in this wild one in the finale. All right, George Springer, 1 for 5. Don't give a crap. He went deep, 3-run bomb. Spencer Horwitz continues to rake. He was 3 for 5 in the ballgame. Vladdy, 1 for 4, scored a run. Fine. Justin Turner, boy, but he was back in the lineup, and he was not good. 0 for 5 with 3 punch-outs. Bo Bichette, 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. Fine, got on base twice. Good on him for that. Dalton Varsho, 1 for, but I don't care. Game-winning hit for him and the RBI. Alejandro Kirk stays hot. He's hitting the ball really, really hard. 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI, and obviously the sac fly, which is a piss missile to right field. Leo Jimenez, good on him. 2 for 3 with a run scored. Good job from Leo. And 10 hits for the Blue Jays. So back-to-back days with double-digit hits. 10 hits, 11 strikeouts. They walked twice. And pitching-wise, it was a wild one. Jose Barrios, I thought he looked great. But 2 missed pitches. 1 to Victor Robles, 1 to Mitch Garver, and then a brain fart on his standpoint. Led to 6 innings of 7-hit ball, 4 runs. All were earned, 10 strikeouts. Again, he was great. He hit 98 for the first time in his career. Walked only 1 guy. 10 strikeouts to 1 walk. He was great. But did allow 2 home runs. And that was that. Nate Pearson came on through a clean inning work and a strikeout. Zach Pop continues to scare the hell out of us. He went 2/3 of an inning, got a walk, but nothing more. And Brendan Little did a job. He went 1/3 of an inning and did outstanding. Well, got the 1 dude. That's all we asked. And it was a bases loaded as well. So it's a big spot for him to come out there. Chad Green went an inning, allowed a couple hits. And again, another base loaded situation, but had to take a couple strikeouts and was able to get out of the inning. And Genesis Cabrera obviously allowed the hit and the walk, but got the strikeout. His second save of the season, and a big one for the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, so you know what, guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the win today, because God, it was entertaining and stressful all at the same time, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not done so already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game? For the Toronto Blue Jays, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and of course TikTok is down below, so follow up there if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you guys Tuesday, which will be game 1 of the 3-game set in San Francisco against the Giants. It's a 9:45 first pitch in San Francisco, but 9:45 Toronto time. Yusei Kikuchi, Blake Snell is the matchup there. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and this weekend's game, Saturday and Sunday's games. We'll talk to you guys then.